So Matthew's here with the business today. Greece, really, that's what it's all about to start with anyway, looking more likely to get time to balance its books.
Yes, that's right, Stuart. Eurozone finance ministers met on Monday and they agreed with Athens' request for a little bit more time to get its finances in order, at least part way. The country, of course, is running out of money and faces a €5 billion debt repayment this Friday. But Greece's lenders aren't agreeing on everything. And as usual, key decisions are going right up to the wire.
More time, but for now, no more money for Greece. European finance ministers and international lenders have given the country 2 more years to balance its books, with a new target for a primary budget surplus set for 2016. An extension that'll add more than €30 billion to the international bailout loan. However, despite the Greek government agreeing on tough new austerity measures, Eurozone leaders delayed a decision on the latest €31.5 billion bailout instalment. Without the money, Greece's prime ministers warned they'll go bankrupt on Friday, something the Eurogroup president doesn't agree with.
We're very close, and I will do all I can to make sure that a decision is taken. I can't tell you how, but there won't be any problems on November the 16th.
There's also a very public disagreement on Greece's long-term debt targets, previously set at 120% of GDP by 2020.
The target, as far as the time frame is concerned, has been postponed to 2022. That was not a joke.
Indeed, the IMF chief sitting next to him didn't find it funny either.
In our view, the appropriate timetable is 120% by 2020. We clearly have different views. What matters at the end of the day is the sustainability of the Greek debt.
EU chiefs think giving Greece more time would cost Eurozone governments less in the long run. It's yet another hurdle to be discussed at a special meeting set for next week.
Now, those finance ministers, they're meeting today as well, aren't they, this Tuesday?
That's right. So the 17 finance ministers from Eurozone countries will meet up with their 10 other EU finance minister colleagues on Tuesday. Now, a big topic for them is finding agreement on how to supervise the region's banks. Details of a plan to put the European Central Bank in charge still need to be worked out. Germany says it only wants the biggest banks to be included. Meanwhile, Britain wants to limit the powers of the ECB so it doesn't encroach on its own banks. So still quite a lot to resolve there.
What about the markets then? How have they responded to all this?
US markets were pretty flat on Monday. They didn't get a chance to react to anything going on in Greece. They're still a bit worried about the fiscal cliff. In Asia, though, markets have been more downbeat. Worries piling up with Greece. With the fiscal cliff, the Shanghai Composite down over 1% there.
Now, we've got some well-known American brands getting a grilling on Monday.
Yes, this was a bit of an uncomfortable experience for executives from 3 very well-known brands, Google, Starbucks and Amazon. They were facing British parliamentarians. Those companies alleged to be manipulating their accounts to minimise the tax they pay in the UK. Now, those 3 companies say, no, we are doing things legally, even if they do have slightly complex arrangements. Well, the head of public policy at Amazon got a real tongue-lashing from the committee's chair. She's angry that he was unable to answer questions about the company's UK earnings. Let's take a listen.
I don't know what you take us for, but we're not, we need proper answers to perfectly proper questions which are trying to establish the economic activity in this country and therefore what would be a reasonable corporation tax due. That's our job. The idea that you come here simply don't answer the questions, pretend ignorance, is just not on. It's awful.
Yeah, it was a grilling, wasn't it? Amazon also getting a grilling, in fact, facing problems with tax authorities here in France as well.
Yes, that's right. The representative at those hearings said that the company's been given a $250 million, I should say, tax bill here in France. That's for back taxes and penalties for similar reasons, allegedly, putting money through other countries. They say they're going to contest that.
OK, well, we have got some good news for airlines when it comes to taxes.
Yes, a bit of a tax reprieve here. The European Union holding off on this carbon emission tax that it wants to charge airlines coming in and out of the EU. That follows the threats of international retribution from countries including the US and China. Not happy at all about that. Further talks are going to be held on an alternative plan.
OK, now we're going to stay with energy. Matthew's been looking at a region in the US that's having a bit of an oil boom.
Yes, now we reported on Monday that the US is projected to be the world's top oil producer in 5 years. And in the state of North Dakota, they are undergoing a real oil boom at the moment. That state boasts the lowest unemployment rate in the US, but the growth comes at a price.
At the heart of one of the largest oil booms in U.S. history is the city of Williston in North Dakota. Once a quiet farming community, it's fast becoming the oil-producing capital of the Midwest. In 2008, a new technology, hydraulic fracturing, known as fracking, made the crude oil accessible. Since then, Williston's population of 12,000 has more than doubled.
Were we totally ready for it? No, I don't know that you ever are, because it comes so much faster than you expect and with so much more intensity. We know it's going to get busy, just not this busy.
Beneath Williston, an oil field roughly the size of West Virginia holds an estimated 24 billion barrels of recoverable oil. Tapping into it has transformed the state's economy. North Dakota had a $1 billion budget surplus last year, and unemployment is 3%, the lowest in the nation. But along with the oil, problems have trickled in too. With the new workers arriving, housing is scarce. Locals face rising living costs, and public services are under stress.
Our water system is failing and our sewer system is failing, and we can't accommodate this many people at this point.
Some of those left behind by the boom wish they could return to a time before oil. But with 7,000 oil wells drilled and another 45,000 planned, North Dakota's development has just begun.
Now, we've got a very historic piece of jewellery that's going under the hammer today. Hopefully it's strong enough to survive the hammer anyway.
That's right. If you're a lover of diamonds and jewels, then you're probably going to love this. This is the Archduke Joseph diamond. It's going to be sold in Geneva this Tuesday. Now, for diamond experts, which we are not, but no. I can tell you that it's a 76.02 carat diamond. That does sound like a lot, doesn't it? And it's got perfect colour and flawless clarity. I've heard that before. Clarity, that's important. It comes from the Golconda mines in India. Now, you're a generous man, Stuart, so I'm sure you'd like to know what it costs.
Definitely.
To fetch
one for the wife?
More than, yeah. How's about $15 million? Have you got that sort of going spare?
Easy. Back pocket change.
Still not the most expensive, though. In November 2010, a special pink diamond smashed the world record. That sold for $46 million.
Wow. Incredible stuff.
Nice
well, you're not into your diamonds. Perhaps this is one for you instead. It's a big day for gamers today. Not really me and Matthew, but the producer's very excited about this.
Yes, very excited, because the Call of Duty series now releasing its 9th version. It's called Black Ops 2. Now, these sell so well, and this one's expected to do even better than the last one, which was called Modern Warfare 3, and that grossed $1 billion in its first 16 days and became the biggest entertainment launch of all time, even beating a film, Avatar, which held the record before that. Well, French fans were able to get their hands on it from midnight this Tuesday. Let's listen to some of those who were queuing up.
I've been here since 4:55 yesterday afternoon, as I expect most people here have. I'm here because my boyfriend couldn't come, and I'm taking his place.
I'm going home to wash and eat, and I'll stay up all night to play it. I'm not going into college all week, and this weekend will just be sleepless nights. Call of Duty all the way.
Now, did you hear that chap there saying he's not going into college? Apparently, a lot of people doing that. A gaming website, IGN, did a survey amongst its users, found that 1 in 4 said they're not going to show up for work. They're going to take sickies so that they can play the game. So if you know someone who's off work today,
or tomorrow, probably for the rest of the week.
Or tomorrow, yeah, then maybe that's why.
Keep watching Francois Cat. Every time they cut to the presenter, whether it's me or somebody else, there'll be nobody left behind. They're all playing Call of Duty. Are you a Call of Duty person or a Diamond person? I'll leave it to you to think about it. All right, Matthew, thanks very much. Hopefully he'll be back a little bit later on if he hasn't left the building. More news with Claire, who definitely will be here after the break.